Hello everybody, video here for you today. This is the No Cap recap of the March 1st, 2022, Season 9, Episode 16 of the Curse of Oak Island called Gold Diggers. If you missed my recap of Episode 15, there's a link to it in the upper right. Let's get into it. There is an island in the North Atlantic where people have been looking for an incredible treasure for more than 225 years. The TF1 10-foot wide steel shaft continues to be driven into the earth at the D2 grid location, and the material inside it is brought up by the hammer grab. These spoils are dropped inside a search area where it is raked flat and metal detected by Gary Drayton. The dig is currently at the 92-foot level. These boulders and all this wood that indicates a shaft had already been brought up, as well as a rubber boot the previous day that is believed to have been worn by someone in the 1909 dig that Freemason and future U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt invested in and worked on. The team on that dig believed that they were digging in the original location of the money pit. That dig, like so many others, ended when the shaft was flooded by a booby trap. Researcher Doug Kroll arrives with a letter written to FDR that says the dig team cleared the pit out to 107 feet and then discovered a heavy platform that they were unable to take up. At this point, the current team is 15 feet away from that depth. In the southeast corner of the swamp, cousins Alex Siglina and David Fernetti update their father/uncle Marty Lagina with their ground penetration work. The previous episode. Continuing from the Stone Road, the area in the uplands eastward GPR scans still show the Stone Road. Further scans appear to show an anomaly 3 feet deep and with nothing on either side of it. They are hopeful they will be able to get a dig permit from the government based on the new data they are getting from the ground penetrating radar. Back in the money pit area, the TF1 dig reaches the 107-foot level, and although he gets no metal detector hits, Gary spots this wooden dowel, which he suspects would be from the original money pit because later digs or tunnels would have used metal fasteners. Wood brought up from the same location via a 7-inch wide borehole earlier this season was carbon dated as early as 1488. In the next bucket of spoils, Gary gets a hit and finds this hand-forged iron fastener. Rick arrives at the industrial spoils wash plant near Smith's Cove, where all the material from the digs go for washing and further sorting and scrutiny. The finds shown are a long modern nail and this piece of iron that they again believe is hand-wrought. Rick says that it will be CT scanned. Marty, Alex, and David meet surveyor Steve Guptill in the research center to get his analysis on the GPR data on the Stone Road leading east from the swamp. The green X's show the new data. Right there. Zoomed out, here are the X's. You can barely see them right there. Down here is the excavated Stone Road, and up here is the Tar Kiln. And you do not have to be a surveyor to suspect that the road goes straight up there. The Tar Kiln was discovered 1 year ago on Lot 15 after the team followed up on this Fred Nolan survey map that noted a possible tunnel entrance in this location. They did not find a tunnel entrance, but I don't think the area was scanned with ground penetrating radar either, so who knows. Steve suggests continuing northeast with the ground penetrating radar, and Marty says if they do have proof of the path to the kiln, he wants to dig it and also would like Gary to metal detect the area. The TF1 caisson is now down to 137 feet. Rick tells Vanessa the key area now would be around 150 feet. In 1897, at a depth of 153 feet, treasure hunters Frederick Blair and William Chappell drilled and pierced an apparently concrete-covered box they said was 7 feet tall, which is now referred to as the Chappell Vault. In addition to concrete, the drill bit also brought up gold flakes and a piece of parchment with the letters VI on it. Vanessa says the current plan is to go to 160 feet unless bedrock stops them. At the wash table, which is the last stop for the spoils, for one more look after going through the wash plant, Jack Bagley explains that they always find something on the wash table, even though the material has been searched multiple times before. He is proven correct when Alex finds a flat piece of concrete, and he finds this piece of concrete with a lip on it, indicating it was on the edge of something teased at the end of the previous episode. Gary and Peter Fornetti arrive on Lot 15 to metal detect. As Marty requested, Gary finds this iron spike and is unsure whether it's a square head or rose head spike. He also finds this small hand-wrought believed claw hammer and this square head spike. Gary says he's leaning pre-searcher due to the weight, but can't tell for sure until it's cleaned up. As the TF1 dig approaches 150 feet, the hammer grab brings up clay. Hammer grab is grabbing something that is too heavy to pull up. Vanessa says they will switch hammer grabs to a smaller one with a wider mouth to hopefully alleviate that problem. The result is mostly water. The Irving and Rock teams think that they are in the bedrock. Rick says that if it were concrete or wood, some pieces would be coming up. He calls it into the TF1 dig. The caissons will be pulled out, and the operation will move to the next location. That night, Marty takes the wash plant finds to the archaeology trailer. They include a thin piece of metal that was also teased last week, but the actual finding of it at the wash plant or on the wash table was not shown. The X-ray fluorescence machine reveals that it is almost 95% iron, but it does have gold content as well, as shown by the AU symbol right there. A similar piece of metal tested next also has gold content. Marty says it's possible the treasure trove is just a few feet away from the TF1/D2 location. The team meets in the war room to decide on the all-important location of the second of 4 such caissons they will dig this season. They pick CD 4.5, which is a few feet northeast of the TF1 site. And that would be, let's say C is right here, D is right here, so CD, and halfway between 4 and 5. CD 4.5 is right in the center there. And so it will be like right around here, the 10-foot. These, I believe, these are 5-foot squares. So it would be 10 foot. So it would be probably about the halfway through all these is where that would be. So the new dig, the new caisson would be somewhat in C1 area as well. It would overhang that. And the other one is right here, which you get to see right now on, there we go. So this is the survey map. This is the one they just finished, and this is the new one. And I believe it's not to the same scale as the grid map. As you can see, this one looks like it's even more zoomed in. So not exactly to the same scale, but that's where they're going, and that's not that far from the other one. But as Rick said, it's probably down there close somewhere. Alrighty, and next time on an all-new Curse of Oak Island, this is shown, this flat piece of rock here. What in the world could that be? Followed by Marty saying, "That's incredible that that's down there." Jack says, "This looks like parchment, but it's got something shiny on it." This image is shown as a presumed expert says the bright spots could actually be some of the writing. And another says some of the older inks are iron-based. Dr. Brousseau says something is pre-1840s iron and has been known since the 1500s. And Marty says, "How about that?" The synopsis for that episode, called Blast from the Past, is as follows. The team discovers an artifact which leads them to believe they are about to intercept the legendary Chapel Vault. I'll be back next week to recap that episode 17, and a link to that recap episode will be in the upper right in this video once I post that recap. I am Steve Simpson, and otherwise known as Coach Steve Money. I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. Yes, that's Dave Ramsey's company. And you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation assessment with me at calendly.com/CoachSteveMoney. You can email me about coaching or anything on my YouTube channel, including Oak Island, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. You can send channel donations to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. You can add me on Instagram at CoachSteveMoney, no spaces. And of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment.